Channel. And if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about comparison. But before we get started, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on uplifting content. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So earlier today, I was listening to a sermon while I was doing other stuff. And usually I listen to sermons throughout the day or something educational. And today's sermon was all about you being able to combat the traps of the adversary. And as the pastor preached, he started talking about different things that we end up running into during our life. They say that the thief comes that he may to steal, kill, and destroy. And the thief is the adversary. And sometimes we don't know what that looks like. And so he went through different examples of what this could look like. And example that I always like to use, or an example that I like to use, is when the serpent's in the garden with Adam and Eve, and he's like, if you eat this fruit, you won't surely die. Because whenever I think of that, I think of that one friend that you got that is not really a good friend, but they be egging you on to do the wrong thing, or that one person that that thinks that you're too goody two shoey, and so they try to say, oh, but you could do a little bit of it. Even if you do a little bit, it's not that bad. Like, it's just a little, it's not like the whole thing. And so they be trying to like hype it up to make you do the wrong thing, like it's not really that bad, but it really is. And so every time I think of a situation like that, I think of the serpent. I think of someone trying to get you to go the wrong direction. I think of someone trying to distract, to manipulate, trying to get you to change your mindset or change the things that you want to do or that you need to do in your life to stay on track. Any of those things, any things that waste your time, anything like that is something that is sent by the adversary. And so as the pastor's preaching, I, of course, throw my Nishaism in there and I start to relate it to my life. I start to think about different things that we do that really do get us off course. And one of the biggest things is comparison. And there's this quote that I used to put in my notebook all the time from Teddy Roosevelt that says, comparison is the thief of joy. Because you can be living your best life and you look at somebody's Instagram, you see somebody around you, whatever else. And I'm not saying you in general, I'm just throwing out a statement. But you can see somebody around you and all of a sudden your life feels like crap. You're like, you know what? I really haven't made it that far in life. You know what? I really haven't accomplished all the things. At 35, I was supposed to be this. I was supposed to be doing that. And you start to think about all the things that you haven't accomplished, which is the adversary, instead of really thinking about the things that you have accomplished, which is God. Because how are you going to get blessed if you're not already appreciating your life? And so I think it's really important for us to stop comparing. I know you're probably thinking, well, it's going to be hard to do that because sometimes I do feel crappy. Sometimes I do think about how I want to be further in my life and it might not have to do with other people. Okay, ask yourself this question and be real with yourself because it's only you in this room, right? If you hadn't seen somebody else with a nicer car than yours, would you care that you're driving the car that you're driving? If you hadn't seen somebody else in a relationship getting the thing that you asked for but you didn't receive, would you really care? Like, if you know that's the best that that person can do, would you really care? If you are in your house and it's nice, it's cozy, you got a roof over your head, you waking up, going to sleep every day, right? And waking up from your sleep, would you really care about the house that you're in if you weren't comparing it to someone else's house or didn't see some HGTV television show with some home makeover or didn't look in a magazine or didn't see some upgrades on somebody else's house or go to a model home? Would you really, really care that much? If your answer is no, then comparison is stealing your joy. It is literally the thing that is leaving you stagnant because you can't get blessed if you are thinking about the things that you don't have in life. You can't receive the things that God has for you if you're being ungrateful. The only way that you can receive more is if you're being a good steward of the things that you already have in your life. And there are three things that I would say are really helpful that help me in my life that may be able to help you as well. And the first thing, which I already talked about a little, is to stop comparing. I know you're probably like, okay, that's easy. You already said stop comparing. I don't want to be like anybody else. You start lying to yourself. I don't want to be like nobody else. And some people might actually believe that. But be real with yourself. Are you really hating on somebody else's outfit? Are you hating on somebody else's hair? Are you hating on somebody else's clothes, man, car, house, work, whatever it is, right? Are you hating on any of those things? If the answer is yes, and you're being real with yourself because you don't have to front because you're not in front of people right now, then stop comparing. Don't think about what anybody else has. Don't think about what someone else is doing in their life. Don't think about how many degrees somebody else got because you only have 1 degree. 1 degree is good enough if you're in the profession that you want to be in. And if you're not doing the things that bring you peace or something that brings you joy or something you enjoy doing, go get another degree, go take up another trade, go learn a new skill and take on a new position. Like, do not settle in a place where you are unhappy just because you like the title that you're in. Do not settle in a place that you are unhappy just because you want to say you got a man. Do not settle in a place that makes you unhappy just because you want to say that you got this nice car, but you hate the $700 a month payments. Like, stop doing the things to please somebody else and do things that actually make you happy in your life. I know it sounds real harsh, and I'm not trying to come off real rough like that, but I really want people to really just start to appreciate their life. I really want us to take a moment and really reflect on the things that we already have instead of the things that we don't have. Because sometimes the things that we have that we're not taking for granted, people that we are taking for granted, people around you, people in this life are praying for the things that you already have. Somebody's praying for your nice cozy house. They don't want to be in a mansion. Somebody's praying for your nice car or the car that you're in because they don't even have a vehicle. Somebody is praying for the job that you have because they've been putting in resumes for months and it seems like they can't get a call back and you're complaining about your job. Like, we really have to appreciate the things that we do have. We have to appreciate the car, the job, the man, the woman, whatever it is that you have in your life. Look at the things that that person actually brings to your life. Look at the things, the fruit that it bears in your life. And when you start to appreciate things, sometimes people treat you differently. When you're appreciating the family member that goes out of their way to help you, all of a sudden you notice that they're a little more peaceful because you're not being ungrateful anymore. Sometimes when you start to appreciate your car might last a whole nother year. I'm stretching it a little for the cars that's really struggling right now. But you know what I mean. All of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what? Or something happens with the car, but all of a sudden you got a promotion and you can afford a new car. Look at that. Look at God. I'm just saying, you really just should take a moment and appreciate the things that you do have because somebody's praying for the things that you're not appreciating. The second thing is to set standards. It's really hard for you to compare your life to somebody else when you have standards for yourself. There's some things you just can't settle for. You can't settle for a friend that's going to be not very nice to you, that's going to treat you badly, because who wants that in their life? You can't settle for a job that's going to pay well but treat you badly, because who wants that in their life? Nobody wants to go somewhere and feel unappreciative, feel unwanted, and be treated like crap. That's not It doesn't matter how much money you make. People could say, well, if they paid me $1,000,000, I would accept it. No, you would accept the money, but you would not want to be treated like that. There's no amount of money that is worth your dignity. There is no amount of money that's worth your self-respect. And although the money may be good, I promise you the stress will not be. And sometimes we have these little cute little sayings that we like to say because we like to pretend like as if we just had more money, as if we just had this extra thing. All of a sudden it would change everything, but your standards are the thing that will help you stop comparing. It'll be the thing that actually keeps you secure, that actually makes you more confident because you won't be worried about what someone else is doing. You know what your value is already. You're not pretending as if you have to have something just because someone else has it. You'll have that thing because that's the only thing that you're accepting in your life. And so when you know what you're worth, when you know what you will and you will not accept, all of a sudden comparison doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter if this girl's been married to this guy for 6 months, or 6 years, or whatever, or whatever. What matters is the quality of the relationship that you're in, not the time. I'm not trying to be with somebody 15 years that I don't even like. I'm trying to be with somebody for a week, 6 months, 2 months, a year, that actually values me as a person. That is so much more important than me comparing somebody married 50 years, 15 years to a healthy, happy relationship. It's no comparison. And so I think it's really important for us to understand what it is that our healthy standards and boundaries actually are. Because no matter what's going on around you, what's going to matter is how you are valued as a person. The next thing, the third and final thing, is to set goals. It's really hard to compare yourself to someone else when you set small goals and a big, audacious goal, big, hairy, audacious goal. Because when you accomplish those goals and you celebrate your own wins, you don't have time to worry about somebody else's wins. You can't look over at somebody else and be like, oh, well, I only accomplished $1,000 a month and this person accomplished $10,000 a month in their job. You are just starting out. And even if you're not, whatever goal you're reaching, wherever you're hitting, you need to focus on your own goals. Focus on the things that make you happy. Focus on the things that you want to do in your life so that you can accomplish those things and move forward. There's somebody around you that's not even working towards any goals. They just completely gave up. And you are going towards it. That's a win. Know that you are doing everything that you can. And if you get lazy, if you stopped at one moment because you just felt super burnt out, exhausted, give yourself grace. Know that it's okay to take a moment to recompose, to de-stress, to reposition yourself in a good place so that you can do the things that you need to do in life. Don't ever feel like just because someone is further along that you are not going anywhere. You're going somewhere. You're just going at your pace, at your speed, on your journey, not somebody else's journey. And it's important for you to realize that everything that you accomplish matters. Everything that you've done, even if you fail, is an accomplishment. Because that means that it taught you a lesson so that you can learn how to navigate through it the next time. It's because that's the thing that will allow you to become more successful, because you'll know what not to do. It's because if you're failing, that means you're trying. That means you actually are putting forth an effort and you're actually doing the things that are really going to move you forward in life. Some people, when they fail, feel like, oh, well, I failed, I got to give up. No, you failed. That means you're trying. That means that you got to keep going. That means you're on the cusp of a breakthrough and you don't even realize it. Your blessing is right around the corner and you were about to give up so quickly and looking at somebody else, you didn't even realize you are there. Acknowledge that you are awesome exactly the way you are, at your best, doing the things that you need to do. And there's no reason to compare yourself to anybody else. Nobody else can be you. Always remember that. So, in this life, no more comparing. Comparison is a thief of joy. Teddy Roosevelt. Acknowledge that you are special. You are unlike anybody else. And what's for you is for you. Can't nobody take it away from you. I know I said that yesterday, but I had to reiterate because some people didn't watch yesterday's video. Go back and watch it. Shameless plug. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good